Hello and welcome to Breaking Bread with Rivaaj Maharaj, where nothing is off the table. For today's episode, I want to talk about an article that was forwarded to me by a relative of mine in Norway regarding a post on X. And, it's a really telling post. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, I've been forwarded this article by a gentleman by the name of Ishaq Samaila. And he's a political analyst and a writer in Nigerian affairs, unpacking politics, security, economy, and more. He's from Abuja in Nigeria. And, this guy has, I have to say, this guy has hit the nail on the head. Really. I'm going to read out this post and I want you to have a listen. So, Ishaq Samaila, and this is his post on X. Presidents like Donald Trump are rare. You can like him or hate him, but you cannot ignore what he represents. This is a man who confronts power head on. While others hesitate, calculate, and play safe, he steps in and acts. He challenged Iran directly. He disrupted their influence, blocked their expansion, and pushed back against networks that many believe have fueled instability across different regions. Some of you don't fully understand what that means on a global scale. That's fine. Not everybody follows power politics, dynamics, or international strategy deeply. But think about this. When last did you hear of a direct threat successfully shaking the United States or the world under his watch? Exactly. Strength deters chaos, whether you admit it or not. Even institutions like the European Union move carefully around situations like Iran. It's a complex game of diplomacy, fear, and consequences. But Trump doesn't play that game the same way. He confronts it. Call him controversial, call him aggressive, call him whatever you want. But leadership is not about being perfect. It's about making decisions others are too afraid to make. He's not trying to please everyone, and that's exactly why many people don't understand him. Man has brought peace to the world. I pray he completes his mission, pressure Iranian leaders to open up the country, allow free speech, allow equal rights, give women their freedom, and watch how everything begins to change. A more open society, a different future for the next generation. God bless America, long live Iran. We are about to enter one of the most peaceful times in world history. God punish haters of peace. I tell you, this gentleman, Ishaq Samaila, is a genius. I've been saying this from day one. What you think of what I say, what you think of, you may agree with me most of the time, you may agree with me all the time, you may not agree with me. It doesn't matter. And in the same way, what you think about Donald Trump, Viktor Orban, Meloni, J.D. Vance, Modi, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Because the world is in an era where you are now, it's every country for itself. You want a leader with balls. And this is why I say the EU, the UK, Canada, sitting on the fence doesn't help anybody. You want to be liked and loved by everybody. That does not work. That does not work. Neville Chamberlain saying peace in our time. He has struck a deal with Hitler. These leaders, they sniff you out in a room full of alpha males. They'll sniff out the weakness. Like a lion hunting a pride of zebra. It sniffs out the weakling and it goes for the weakling. Why? Because it knows that the chances of success are greater there. Now, in politics in the world at present, you want a leader that is prepared to make a decision. I often say, more is lost by indecision than wrong decision. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. You are human. Everybody makes a mistake. But always wanting to be right, afraid that you will be proven wrong, that creates impotency within you. that makes you weak. That makes you lose respect on the world stage. And that is what you have in Merce. That is what you have in Macron. Macron, every now and then he'll shine through. But he follows a playbook and a script that is pre-drafted for him. So I think under different circumstances in an alternate universe, Macron probably was a strong man. But his allegiance to a system that is so messed up, is more, it overpowers that strong man within him. Starmer is a weakling. He is a pathetic, useless weakling. There's no confidence in him. Look at him. Just looking at him, I want to cry. He looks absolutely pathetic. There is nothing intimidating about Starmer. There is nothing. Even when he tries to become intimidating, he's a bloody joke. Even when he lays down the red line and says to them, I will always do what is in Britain's interest, there's no conviction behind it. There's no conviction behind it. So, again, what you think of Orban, what you think of Trump, these people are prepared to make a decision. They are prepared to take a stance. I'm not saying they're angels, far from it. They may be thieves, they may be just as corrupt, if not worse than the others. But they've at least taken a stance. They've at least been seen to put their people first. This other lot don't even care. And to illustrate my point, I've come across an article. What's it called? Theunpopulist.net, where it says, if Orban loses Hungary's election, it will dispel the air of invincibility around strongmen. I didn't even bother reading the article, but just the heading said it all. There is a section of society that realizes that a strong man is what is required. However, they are pushing back, saying that these limp, impotent leaders that are currently in power, especially, those in the United Kingdom and in Europe, are what the world actually needs. And I don't see how that works. Honestly, I really don't see how that works in today's political environment. You got Kaya Kallas, who's got more balls than Starmer. But she's as deluded as ever. They are a product of a system that doesn't understand humanity, that doesn't understand the world. Their philosophy is, this is who I am, and I will change the 8 billion, 10 billion, 2 billion, whatever population of the world to become like me. Rather than saying, that's a Herculean task. This is what the world demands. This is who I'll be. Their idea is, I'll change. And this is what they bring into the country. Because when you get people coming into the country and saying to you, my mom does work at a charity. And you have these refugees coming in where they give them these hampers. And, you get people coming in there and saying, I don't like the tuna in brine. I want the tuna in olive oil. Now, it's not a religious thing. It's not a health thing. I don't like it. So that there tells you, you must have some kind of brass to come into the United Kingdom free, be put up free in accommodation, given food, given religious money for your religious holidays, given a weekly stipend, given free healthcare, free education and everything, and then still have the audacity to say, I don't like the tuna that is in brine, I prefer the one in oil. Now, step back a month ago, your harrowing journey to the UK, what you had in the country that you left. You've just got off the boat, literally. You've been given food, and rather than saying thank you, you say, I don't like this because it's like that and that. What mindset have you got? But let's forget about that, because that person cannot be helped. What does it say about us and what we've allowed people to think of who and what we are? That they can come here and behave in this fashion and it's totally acceptable. Because where I'm sitting from, where I'm coming from, it doesn't make sense. If I'm hungry and starving and I'm coming from a place where I'm being persecuted, somebody giving me a roof over my head, somebody giving me a plate of food, it doesn't matter what the plate of food is. If I'm coming from somewhere that is so horrendous, I should be grateful for what I'm getting. But no. It says not about the type of person you bring in, because everybody will want to come over. If this is fairyland, everybody will want to come over. It says something about us and how we portray ourselves, that people can come over and believe this. And this is why I say it is important, it is vital to stand up for something. At the moment, we have leaders in the West that stand up for nothing. Energy is okay, so I'm for energy requirements. You're going to have a meeting with a constituency in that part of the United Kingdom, and the people there are right-leaning. Immigration is something that we need to tackle. An hour later, we're having a meeting. Mr. Prime Minister, your meeting is now in an area that is very left-leaning, and they would welcome everybody and their pets into the UK. I am for immigration, and I believe that we should allow everybody in, irrespective of whatever. Bring everybody come over. Do you see what I'm saying? You have no moral grounding. You have no standing. You say what needs to be said in order to get a vote, because that is what it has become. And all the while you sell out your people. So again, the purpose of this was Ishaq Samaila's post, and I think it is brilliant. I think it sums up everything that is going on in the West. So I'm going to put his post up here. I urge you to go and read it. It's fantastic. I want to thank you for spending time with us, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. And please remember to like, share and subscribe, as it helps us with the algorithm and it helps our channel to grow.